Hi, this is Laura Lee Collet from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and you are at Stampin' at the Bird Nest. I have a friend who just retired, and I made this card for her earlier and just thought it was cute and it was quick, and I thought I would share one with you. So I'm going to put that aside. We're going to do a little different orientation and only use a cat for my next friend. And now I'm using real red cardstock. That's 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. A layer of Basic Black. This is 4 by 5 1/4. And then I found this piece of DSP from a retired pack that I had, and I cut it to be 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. So that's going to go like so. Now, before I start layering everything together, we're also going to have the strip that goes across the center of the card, and then the sentiment. And I wanted to add just a little bit of to the background strip. So in the stamp set that I'm using, called 9 Lives, it has mice, it has yarn, bows, cute little sentiments that go with it. And I'm going to use the yarn. So I'm just going to make sure it's inked up well and stamp randomly all over it. Now, always close up your ink pads so you don't mess up your new cards. I'll put that aside. And I'm going to, I already had my little kitty cat stamped and punched. This is the cat punch, and it's available now. And I'm also going to use the Label Me Fancy punch. And I've got a trick to show you with that. So I'm going to go ahead and layer this all together. I'm putting the black over the real red. Then I'm going to center the DSP, that short, or Stampin' Up! Speak for Designer Series paper. That looks about right. Now I'm going to layer these two pieces. And it's okay if you have a little boo-boo on it. You can always cover that up. Or add an embellishment. And I'm going to want my little kitty cat down in the corner. So I think I'm going to do right about there. And I'm lining it up with my black layer. Then I'm going to add the little stamped piece. And now my little cat is going to go down in the corner, and my sentiment's going to go up here, but I'm going to hold off before I adhere her to the card. The sentiment I'm using says, "A friend like you comes around once in a lifetime, in 9 lives. A friend like you comes around once in 9 lives." So I'm going to make sure that it's inked up real well and that it's going the correct way. And I'm going to go down and up, and you get a real crisp, clear image there. Now, when you go to open our stamps, I'm sorry, when you go to open our punches, you're just going to push that in to release it. Closing it, you do the opposite, press and move the thing there. Okay. Now, this one is not as hard to get in as some. If you have a little short piece of scrap paper that you want to use, a good tip is to put a piece of a sticky note on it, and that helps you to guide it to where you want it to be so that it'll be nice and even. That looks good. Now I'm also going to punch a red one. I'm going to show you what to do with that. I think it needs to have a little background to it. And if you don't have punches or dies that nest, this is a good little trick to know that'll help with making that look. And again, I'm going to use a little piece of Post-it note, and I'm going to cut this lengthwise in half. Now I'm going to put adhesive on the back of the sentiment. And I'm just going to leave a little bit poking out so that it looks like it's another layer. And again on this side. Okay, so there you have it, and it makes it look like it's has a layer behind it. Next, I'm going to decide where I want to put these. The cat's going to go there with the sentiment above. That looks about right. I'm going to put dimensionals. Oh, and I did add a little baker's twine around her neck, just to make her look like a well-kept kitten. And I'm going to add my dimensionals on the back of this. This is always a question about dimensionals. You want to be sure that whatever you're sticking to the card is going to stay put. But I actually have seen people just go overkill with that. So would usually put 3 or 4 on here. And I think I'm going to do that right there. So there's your finished card. And here was the other one. This one's for a veterinarian friend of mine that just retired. And it says, "Keep calm and wag on." Very appropriate for this day and time. So I hope you enjoyed this. Visit me at Stampin' at the Bird Nest, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.